Hi everybody, welcome to Xianxia DnD. I'm Casey, I'm the Dungeon Master for this wuxia themed martial arts madness of a homebrew 5e campaign. And already we have Suedin. Hi Suedin, how are you? Thanks for popping over right now. A long time no see. We've missed your lore drops and we've missed you. And with that, just a quick couple of announcements. Actually, I'll hold off the announcements until we get a little bit. So we're gonna just do our usual intro right now. Everybody's now in the tomb of the Qin Emperor, and we are gonna go with the introduction with Rich first. Ricardian as Yifan.
Hi everyone. My name is Richard, and I'm playing Song Yifan, which is Elven Bladesinger. And we are currently in the tomb of the Qin Emperor, and basically we are a group of adventurers trying to stop Zhu Rong. And I think it's off to Renzus.
Hello everyone, I'm Renzus. I play Kukang, a barbarian and former bandit of the Mountain Dogs. A bit of the swept up along with all this cosmic stuff that he never imagined that he would be having to deal with, but that's where life takes you.
Nick, you want to do the next one?
Yes, hi. This is Nick, and I'm playing Longmu, who is a descendant of the Qin Emperor, and currently, he's actually a wandering swordsman, however, and he in function he's a paladin with a splash of eldritch, a splash of
Warlock.
Hexblade. Yes, and right, we have just resolved his arc, and we are heading on to the next one.
Resolving your arc is a little bit putting it. You've resolved one part of your arc.
Yeah,
So
one
the
part of my arc.
whether or not you want to be emperor is still open to you.
I didn't want it.
You
Okay.
have to do your Deus Ex. I didn't ask for this, boys.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't already know and aren't frequenting the our Discord, right? Yes, surprise, we have a Discord. We now have a drinking game, which is under the channel drinking game. So every time Longmu now says, I have no choice, take a drink. And we are moving on to Shao, who is playing Cang Tian.
Hi, hello. I'm Shao, and I play Cang Tian, who is emissary and diplomat and pilgrim from a faraway land. Sometimes my character gets involved in sparing people's lives and contributes to the drinking game that way. I also tend to stand on ceremony a lot because I think this is what's going to be the most in this game for level 1. I find ways to cast ceremony. So Cang Tian is, or Azad is his Persian name, is actually a watcher from the skies. It's basically a celestial being who is monitoring all this cosmic bullshit that Kukang was talking about, and is trying very hard to make sure that the gods and the humans can understand each other, and so serves as a bit of a translator and intermediary. We're currently inside this tomb of the Qin Emperor, where we've just basically opened up literally new ballparks of the cosmic game, so to speak, right? And Cang Tian is busy observing and recording everything because this is a momentous time in Destiny.
Okay. With the character introductions done, I just have a couple of announcements before we do our recap and go into our game proper. So, once again, I am more excited for what's going on Saturdays than I am with my own game. And what's happening is that we have a couple of things lined up for the coming weeks on Saturday. Now, Saturday has become kind of our unofficial Luan Luan Lai day. Luan Luan Lai means we anyhowly go and try out new games and new game systems and things like that, right? And we have had a couple of volunteers. Yes, volunteers, right? I did not hold a gun against their head. I did not throw a hissy fit and threaten to flip the table. Yeah, on so that they would run a game for me on Saturdays. I totally did not do any of that. So our volunteers, this coming Saturday, right? We have a very, very special game where we are going to try out this game system called Band of Blades. Band of Blades is a system where we are basically, it's kind of like as Shao puts it, the XCOM project, but with swords, muskets, and undead. And we have also got a very awesome guest star for us on Saturday, and that's Awesome Rara, our dankest fan. The meme queen herself is going to join Rich, Shao, and I to try and explore this rather dark world of undead armies, while trying to make bad jokes and make Richard the sergeant of the squad as we go along. So that's for
business as usual, huh?
Yeah, pretty much business as usual lah. Rich is going to be the responsible one. How do you like it now, Richard? How do you like it now? PTSD flashbacks. The second announcement you have is that in the coming Saturday, we will be completing up our VTM story arc that's run by Nic. Unfortunately, Nic can't join us this Saturday. Otherwise, it would have been awesome. So we have something for this Saturday. We're coming to say something for next Saturday, and also we are going to be taking a bit of a season break once we finish up this particular story arc with Xianxia. Once we finish our hip hop adventure with the Wudang clan, and what's going to happen is that Shao has volunteered to run a gaiden, a story arc involving some very, very precocious young people trying to rescue one of the people that have sacrificed a lot to save them. So with that, we will do up the promos once we get to nearer the end of that arc. So very, very excited. Plenty of new content, plenty of new stuff.
You might want to tell the audience also that Shao's game is set in the same universe.
Yes, no, the Gaiden is set in the same universe. The Band of Blades game is not. So that's why I don't want to. Yeah, okay. But anyway, Shao's game is set in my game world, and that's why I'm super excited. So now it's a shared project of world building. So with that, super excited. Very, very much want to get on with this. And with that, can we have a recap from our usual auditor from heaven, Cang Tian?
I sense an arrow coming. Oh, hi. Hi. So recap last session. So the things we thought we would do and the things that we didn't think we would do. So it's a bit of the kind of expectation management session. So what we thought we would be doing last session is we thought we'll have a confrontation with this fella Duke Xie, which is I guess is really, if you want to, it's like Xie Gong, right? It's like basically the heretical duke or the demon duke, right? We were basically thinking that we'll have a bit of a knockdown showdown with this fella who's trying to transform terracotta soldiers in the tomb of the Qin Emperor to bend them to his own power. What we didn't know, of course, when we got inside there is that well, we knew this going in, but we didn't really emotionally realize it, is that the Duke is actually one of these members of the original Qin Emperor's entourage as well, was a deserter and a soldier from there as well. So what we thought was that he was going to steal them for himself, but in many cases, actually, it turned out that he was also trying to, in a way, use whatever it is, his own compatriot. So the emotional reality of it was a little bit different from what we thought it would be. And it turned out the terracotta soldiers are not the mindless golems and crafted creatures or conjured beings that we thought they were. or rather, they are powered by spirits which have been cut away from the cycle of life and rebirth, doomed forever to languish in a clay body. So this very nice turn of events, of course, is brought to us by the fact that the tomb, being full of these bodies of soldiers, is also inhabited by the souls of the war dead from the Jin army. So there were pleas for us to release these spirits, and the various celestial patrons who hung out with us, like Amu's divine empowerer patrons, was like, this is a travesty of the souls. They must be rescued. So, but of course, the party was also interested in using these soldiers to fight against a clear and present threat of invading armies, of the invading Mongol armies. So it was a little bit of a situation where, do we use the tools that are stained, or do we not use the tools that are stained? We have decided to not use the tools that are stained mostly, and we got volunteers from the Terracotta Army, from the spirits trapped in the Terracotta soldiers to help us in our task. We also were able to do so because, surprise, surprise, Amu finally acknowledged at some level, actualized that he is the descendant of the emperor. So within this emperor of the tomb of the emperor, there was a certain kind of like a magical emotion circuit lock of sorts. Like, he needed to, while carrying the sword, bearing the sword of the emperor, he needed to actualize his will to acknowledge his identity as the heir. And so he basically gained control of the tomb and its resources. That meant that Duke Xie was unable to really put much of opposition towards us. And those of you who've been watching for us may remember that Duke Xie has a rather large bodyguard, who is Xing Long, a medicine man, an alchemical warrior, who was probably around, given the size of the economy now, I would have said he's twice the size, but now it's probably 10 times the size of the economy. Okay, and then, Xing Long is quite big and quite green, and also full of angst about his, the only thing that keeps him sane as a person following not very nice dukes here is the fact that he swore an oath to protect the throne, protect the people, etc. So he's working with a rather odious personality and trying to keep himself alive. But a long time ago, we rescued Xing Long's mortal friend, slash, do they or do they not, are they or are they not a couple? Right. So these people named after the mythical beasts of the 4 different directions in China. Well, both of them, it looks as though like the mythical guardian of the dragon, the mythical guardian of the phoenix, had a bit of like romantic sparks going, but it was never really actualized. So we said, hey, Xing Long, stop working for this asshole. Come and help us. Go on to your rest. No, I can't do that. So essentially, we just said, all right, do you want to live in peace? Do you want to have a happy life that you never had? And then basically we set them up and we reunited the lost lovers, and then we officiated a wedding ceremony. They got married, and so that was how we removed the bodyguard of Duke Xie, through giving him what he always wanted. Yeah. See, we're nice people. We did not actually fight much. We mostly went around resolving people's lost dreams, and then we played nice mostly, and that was how we got access to Mech Warrior Terms, a crypt full of lost tech and a huge bunch of weapons. And the thing that Richard and I and Kate and Nick and Renzus and Kukang are very happy about is because Casey keeps saying, remind us about the Qing Emperor's treasure vault. So I'm reminding the GM, please, the treasure vault, please give us treasure, because you keep reminding me. So I'm not remiss in my duty. Yeah.
All right, awesome. The 4th general, the youngest one, the shortest one, but the one that has been counseling you all this while, the one that the other 3 more senior ones seem to defer to, takes you into a small chamber.
Which one is it?
The one that is going to stay with us.
The one that is become basically your aide-de-camp for these spectral slash clay warriors, and he takes you to a small room. Let me see if I can find this in this saw place where the treasure vault is. Saw. Ah, yeah, here it is. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, we are. Sorry. Ah, okay. Yes, here it is. It's actually at the base of where you were at. And let me peel off the layers. Finally, okay. Why is this not? Oh, okay. Brings you to a room full of what looks like a halo of fire, a cage of fire, and in it there are two objects that stand out. All around you there are bronze coins, which probably are not worth very much. There are jewels, which are probably worth a bit. There are rare herbs and cultivation materials. Some of it has already gone bad. Some of it is well preserved, so you can still use some of it. You can still use most of it. The two things that are in this fiery chamber that are bound. One of them is a war chariot, flecked with gold and bronze and enameled with the Qin Emperor's regalia all around it. Yeah, and it seems to call out to you. And the second item that you see in here, which I cannot design because it's rather difficult to design, is a shield. Is a large tower shield of the sort that the Qin army was very famous for fighting behind. One of their famous fighting formations, this is real, is to put the tower shields in front and to use basically prone crossbows. And they all fire basically these like massive siege crossbows that fire over the towers, and that's how they won most of their battle. This happens to be one of these massive tower shields, and again it has the regalia of the Qin emperors on it. And he says, anything in this room is yours if you want it, the mysterious fourth general says.
Loot box.
And he says, just will it, bring it along with you if you wish. These two items are of special significance.
I am going to take my time and inscribe of the rune to investigate magic. Basically, you do cast detect magic.
The room is magical. The background count of transmutation necromancy has reduced. This particular one is radiating transmutation necromantic abjuration.
Which one? The war chariot?
The shield.
The shield.
The war chariot is radiating necromantic transmutation.
Necromantic transmutation, and then the shield again. Sorry.
Necromancy, transmutation, abjuration.
Okay.
Shui Xian grabs Long Mu's arm. I'm sorry, Renzus? Yeah, go ahead.
I just need a quick dash. Be right back.
Okay. Shui Xian grabs Long Mu's arm and he says, there's something wrong about that shield.
What? I take a closer look at it.
Okay. It has the word Qin on it, right? It also has a specific crest on it. It looks like a giant wall.
Oh, is that the
Great wall.
quadrant primordial?
The Cauldron Primordial, nope, not quite, but it is. Yeah, Richard got it right. It is an insignia of the big, representing the Great Wall.
Oh,
Okay. I get Yifan to take a closer look at it.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna.
He grabs
spec-
Yifan. Xuexin, as you're approaching, Xuexin grabs you. Can you not hear the voices? Can you not hear the voices? They're calling.
voices?
They're calling out.
I listen and I kind of like use I kind of like try to focus and try to see what she's saying.
Mm.
Refer to.
You don't hear it. You don't hear anything.
What voices do they sound like, Suicide?
Resentful spirits.
Is it like an inn?
Yes, actually, somewhat like it. Innocence. They're saying that they're begging to be freed. She's cocking her head as if trying to follow the conversations, right? In somewhere in her head.
Oh.
They are the people trapped in the wall.
Mm.
Was it to build and stabilize the wall?
Yes, the
Barbaric.
sacrifices that they used to build and stabilize the Great Wall. This is some kind of conduit to the Great Wall. That is correct. The fourth general nods.
Sorry,
This shield channels the power of the Great Wall.
Hmm.
And all of the baggage that comes with it.
Mm.
Is there any way to release the spirits?
There are too many. And their physical bodies are entombed in the wall. What are you going to do? Dig them out one by one?
If that's what it takes.
Only a powerful magician would be able to free them.
You're
I
a pretty
think-
powerful magician, aren't you?
Not at my level. Somebody more powerful than I.
So is the shield a problem or the wall the problem or both?
It's both. In order to, I feel that in order to free the spirit, you might need to destroy the magic item itself.
Okay. And then afterwards we have to release them from the walls?
Maybe. I won't know until I closely study the magic item. Am I able to cast identify? Can I take my time to cast identify?
The fourth general says, with your permission, sir, let me bring down the wards.
I look at
Sure.
Longmu.
He brings down the
Yeah,
wards, right?
please.
The fire circle vanishes.
I slowly I approach the shield and I pull out a pearl, inscribe the rune of identify, and I touch the shield.
Okay. The shield works this way. It is bound to. It is a +2 shield. It is a +2 animated shield. So when you use the shield, you take a bonus. Mechanically, what you do is you take a bonus action. It will summon a spirit from the wall to bear the shield for you. You will get the bonus without using a hand. So it's like the flying shields that you get from your normal 5e DnD, right? Each use expends a spirit. You do not have to worry about how many spirits there are. There are effectively infinite spirits. because there were a lot of sacrifices tied to the Great Wall.
Yeah,
Okay.
the Great Wall just did kill a lot of people.
Yeah, it was one of the most brutal kind of sacrificial ceremonies used during that time. The second property that it has is that it can borrow the strength of the Great Wall itself. Once per day or once per long rest, you may cast a half-sized wall of stone.
That's cute.
And the name of the shield is the Great Wall.
You did say half size, is it?
Half-sized. So instead of the usual 6 times, I remember, if I remember correctly, 6 times 6-inch panels. You can only do 3 times 6-inch panels or 6 times 3-inch panels.
Oh, okay.
Can Wukang use it? Does Wukang
Anyone
want
can
to-
use it. You designate who wants to use it. You're the emperor. 赐皇上的命令.
Unlimited power.
Unlimited.
Yeah, but you are fairly sure that the source of the power are the resentful spirits that reside within the Great Wall.
Is it possible to would Modern Kindness Disjunction destroy will free the spirit?
It wouldn't free the spirits. It will just break the link.
I
The
look
pro-
at Cang Tian and ask, is there a point to freeing these spirits?
Point to what? Sorry, I couldn't get asked.
Freeing these spirits.
Well,
If you have to find a way lah, but there are thousands, hundreds of thousands of spirits trapped in the wall.
well, it's pretty obvious what the point of freeing the spirits are. If you are the descendant of the Qin Emperor, and the Qin Emperor's vainglory laid the foundation for this empire with these souls, then you have a choice to either undo the foundation of violence or use it and be everything you say you don't want to be. It's very simple. Free the souls and you become not your ancestor. Use the souls and your ancestor smiles upon you from wherever wicked hell he lives in.
I do not wish to use it. Besides, it does not. It's not good with my martial art style.
Do you want me to shatter it? Then we will go and
Will it free them though?
walk.
I turn towards Cang Tian and Long Mu. No, it will not. It just removes the link.
Yes, but that means that we have no temptation to use it. We make a statement, we break this, and we tell everyone watching, gods and devils and emperors and conquerors, that this is an end. We have no link to it.
But
We scorch earth until heaven itself comes down and apologizes. That is what we do.
won't removing the I'm just playing a devil's advocate. Won't removing the link remove the ability to free them as well? Using the thing is equivalent to freeing a soul at a time.
Rich, make me a knowledge arcana roll. Cang Tian, make me a knowledge religion roll. You can.
I'm actually an esoterica scholar rather than.
Okay, so you do the arcana roll and Richard makes the religion roll.
Okay.
I cannot do this, Captain.
I cannot do this. I don't have enough power, Captain.
You know, this is the stuff that I set my Thursday nights aside.
My religion roll is 9, by the way.
So was it a good thing or a bad thing? I noted no censure in your voice. Like I set this aside on Thursday. Yeah, of course. What we do that all. What? What's anything wrong? Nothing. What?
I got a 20.
For these jokes.
Of course. What would you do otherwise? Okay. Suedin, thank you for that. So a couple of things that you want to do. Okay, so that would remedy the who wrote the 9, by the way, sorry.
The
Just-
religion roll, me.
Okay, they'll make up for the religion roll. This one your Arcana roll was
20.
okay. The fact the wall, the Great Wall, the shield, destroying the Great Wall, the shield may not be possible until you shatter the link. The link itself is a metaphysical link, so you're gonna need a powerful spell to do it.
Is this a side quest?
If you wish.
What's the war? Okay, this is just me basically. Since we talk about exalted so much, it's just me rule or cooling things, right? But if with my key empowered strikes and my adamantine fist loads, can I punch the Great Wall into unexistence?
Okay, so this is the problem. Okay, so the Arcana link also lends it the strength of the Great Wall. It is so the question I have to ask yourself is this: are you confident enough of shattering the Great Wall?
I mean, like what is, as our good friend Mr. Bruce Lee says, the Great Wall doesn't punch back. to paraphrase a small dragon.
Yeah, so the small so the thing is, you can, if you're powerful enough. If you are powerful enough to literally shatter the Great Wall, which is not outside of the realm of Xianxia, by the way, right? Yeah, sure. The physical Great Wall. The reason why the Great Wall is considered an indestructible object here is because it has metaphysical weight now. And the metaphysical weight was granted to it by the hundreds and thousands of souls that were sacrificed to it. And that's where the knowledge religion role came in, right?
Yeah, so we need to have a lot of mantou now, because that's all the proxy sacrifices. The sacrifices
correct,
they never...
Yeah. So you need to either the root of the problem is you need to free the people. If you free the people, you can shatter the wall. If you can shatter the wall, you can shatter the shield.
Okay.
Yeah, so the root of the problem is the metaphysical mass that resulted from all of the sacrifices that have come to it. It's effectively, if you think about it this way, it is its own corrupt ley line now. So you can do it. That's a wonderful side quest. I fully encourage you to go and take advantage of it and Skyrim the shit out of it, you know. But as of right now, with what you have, no, you don't have it. Not immediately.
Perhaps it's something that we can come back to resolve after Mount Wudang.
After all, they've been waiting forever. They can wait a while longer, I suppose.
I agree.
The Chariot.
I look at Sui Xian. Any voices from the chair?
No, just nays. Lots of nays. Like, she reaches out, right, and she walks towards them, and she seems to be stroking thin air. And as her hand touches the air, right, you finally see what she sees, right, and a spectral, just shimmering image of a horse, a fine corsair, appears in front of her.
And are these horse spirits also imprisoned in it?
Yes, they are.
Then we shall do the same for them.
You can, he says. I'm glad that you can. All you need to do is unhitch them and they will be free. Just as a point of reference, you can use real horses. We have hitched these with real horses.
Then real horses we shall use.
She nods. You'll have to be able to get this out of here, though.
I look at Long Wu again. I say, you are the one.
Suck it in.
I look at the party accountant. Can we afford real horses?
He turns around and looks at the fourth general turns around, looks at the treasure trove around you. He says, "Yes, you can."
There are a lot of the party accountant is gesturing towards the mountain of coins that are in the treasure trove.
I shrug. It's not technically ours.
It is technically yours.
The fourth general says, "What are you talking about? You are the emperor. These all belong to you. Unless you're saying to me you're not the emperor. In which case, why the fuck are you here?
And why the fuck are you?
Why the fuck am I listening to you?
Because we are not actually we are the undercover boss.
Undercover boss.
Okay, fine. We shall afford horses.
He says,
Like,
These
this
spirits.
this chariot is chariot. It is a. He points at the wheels of it, right? Facsimile of Nurcha's wheels. The windfire wheels. These travel in the sky. Allows the horses to travel in the sky with you.
These are the windfire wheels. I look skeptical.
No, these are not the windfire wheels.
it is made from the same concept, I'm assuming.
烽火连城
I do the same. Hold out the pearl and inscribe the identify rune, and I touch the war chariot.
Okay. It is effectively, mechanically speaking, it is effectively a flying carpet. There are a couple of things that you should know about it though. It doesn't fly. It runs in the sky. What it does is that the horses that bear it along with the chariot effectively have horseshoes of Zephyr with the windwalk effect. So you can't fly. You can't fly, but you can incline at a 45-degree angle up.
We can pretend fly.
You can pretend fly, basically.
So we can only fly as long as the horses are hitched on the war chariot,
And as long as you keep
And-
moving.
and as long as the horses keep moving.
Correct.
And I guess we now have found our transport.
Yes. How many does this war chariot carry?
6.
Okay.
The war chariots, by the way, is a real war chariot. As in, there are sides that you can deploy up. There are arrow slits forward. There are 4. It can take 4 archers and 2 drivers. That's why it's 6.
Okay, we will adopt the family car.
Or
You have to get it out of here, though. I mean, you feed the spirit horses, right?
Yeah, so I can drag it off. We can drag it.
It's heavy, but it's draggable.
Yeah, because
I look at the general and I point to Wudang's muscles.
The what?
I look at the general and I point at Wudang's muscles. These are apparently pretty good at moving chariots around.
Look, just because I can doesn't mean I want to, you know.
It helps us later on.
Okay. And he says, and take some of the things with you. There will be more if you come back here, but you may be limited to what you can carry, so bring some traveling expenses with you.
that's like the path of exile or hideout now, right?
Yeah. This
it's like all the gold stashed in the corner. It's like, then we go outside.
Then you
walk
have
there.
one whole tab full of gems of every type down there. It's like, I am a juggernaut and I have like blue spell gems. Like, why am I ever going to use blue spell gems? Doesn't matter. This is fine quality blue spell gem. I can go and transmute them into something else later. Yeah, that kind of thing.
And the answer is because I can.
Correct. Okay, so with that, are we prepared to take the trip down to Wudang?
Let's go.
let's go.
And with this, right, Lala says to Lala Kuo, Tomb Raider says, I'll be taking my share and I'll be leaving, if you don't mind.
Please do.
Thank you for your help. Thank you for your assistance. And she takes, as per what you think she agreed with Ziyi, she fills a bag. She fills a bag full of gems, gold, pearls, and takes off. She says,
Okay.
I will take the teleportation circle if you don't mind, and with your permission, I will leave, Your Emperor, Your Highness.
I'm still very unused to the term, and I just nod at him, and
Okay, and with that, you head off. You guys are teleporting to Mount Wudang with the chariot in tow, right? Just clarifying.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and with that, let's move on to our next scene.
I would actually ask Cang Tian also.
Mhm.
So, in the divine wheel, do horse spirits weigh the same as people spirits?
Probably less so.
So we would be okay with enslaving horse spirits? Question.
Not really, because I say that horse spirits weigh less than human spirits because human spirits are more troubled and they bring a lot of nonsense along with them. So, horse spirits are lighter because they have less bullshit. So
They have a lot of
if you-
horse shit though.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I mean, if you want to use this, there's nothing wrong with asking. We don't have to basically enslave horse spirits. You can just go to the celestial stables and request from the stable masters the use of divine steeds.
They are
Appropriate.
willing.
Yes.
That's
We-
fair.
It's like, there's like back in the time of the Tang, there was a monk who traveled to faraway lands with the assistance of a majestic steed that was the child of the Dragon Queen. That the child of the Dragon King, that horse also went on a mystic quest.
Well,
No.
I guess it's something we can consider in time.
Yes, if not, remember the elemental spirit that we summoned to help us fight the Persian, the fire
Yes.
priest. Yes, that was actually the reincarnated version of the water demon, the blood demon that we fought.
Mhm.
By enlisting spirits in your quest, you also allow them to make merit, so that they themselves may restore balance into the world. Enslaving people is a very gauche way of doing things. We can enlist people, and if they wish to help us, a free spirit helping us is always stronger than one that's been yoked to a chain.
We can always do better.
There are also other spirits that are atoning for their mistakes for their previous life. Tales of the Blue Dragon Prince who was taken in as a horse to deliver a monk to the west to collect the scriptures is one said horse spirit that will willingly be willingly be ridden on.
And after all, like, wouldn't it be perhaps we have done some favors over to Celestial Alliance as well? I mean, wouldn't it be cooler and in more style to have Celestial Alliance riding rampant upon the winds? I'm sure that Coco and Celestial, the full Alliance, might be interested in giving some payback over to whoever did all these terrible things to them.
That's entirely true.
Yeah. Okay. I guess it's something that we can approach in due time. But for now, it appears we have arrived.
We do.
You once again, the teleportation of this to Mount Wudang is very unique to Mount Wudang. You enter into the platform, and once again,
and alliance.
You hear you start streaming and you start ascending the heavens and clouds stream behind you. Once again, you experience the Wudang cloud ladder, the system of transport networks that the Wudang clan had established so many years ago that allows it to spread its reach far and wide across the whole of Wuling. You reach up and you notice certain things have changed in the starry sky as you travel along the stream and clouds stream by you. You see down to the south a large red star, but a smaller orange star growing in size. You see, as the star streaming, you see an absence in the sky, a constellation that used to be represented by a tree. You look to the northwest, and the stars seem to have subtly shifted. But as you head north in the direction where you're going, you start streaming and you start seeing 3 baleful stars glare at you, and you recognize them immediately. They are the 3 disasters, the 7 murders, Qisha, the breaker of armies, Po Jun, and the hungry wolf, Tan Lang, staring at you like a 3-eyed giant with a baleful expression as you finally descend on Mount Wudang with a chariot in tow. Okay, let me find some. As the cold air of Mount Wudang hits you, just as you land, superhero otherwise, through the streaming clouds, and you feel the rustic atmosphere, and once again you are on the path of heroes. And you will see an Wudang disciple come up to you and goes, "Yifan, is that you?"
Yes.
It's one of the same generation as you. One of the people in the same generation as you. And one of the guardians of the path of heroes. For those of you who have only joined us recently, especially Awesome Rara, this is the back door to Wudang Shan, the path of heroes, where the teleportation circle is, and the guardians of Wudang lay silent vigil.
I talk to the disciple.
His name is Su Qing. Su Qing comes up to you and just goes, "It's good to see you. We thought you were dead. What happened to you?"
Su Sidi, I'm fine. Why would you think that I'm dead?
You've been missing for 3 years. We've tried everything. Only Master consulted his divinations and said that you were alive but not of this world. We didn't understand what that meant, but and suddenly you reappear here. How are you?
3 years is a long time. We were in the spirit realm for that period of time.
You must come. It is Master's 100th birthday in a few days' time. There's a lot that's happening here. I cannot go through all. I will send a message, right? He reaches in and he whistles, "Wee, wee, wee, wee," and then he does this, and he puts up
The message rune.
Yeah, the message rune, and he pushes us up, and he says something very, very quickly and excitedly. And he goes, "Come along."
Yeah. I take the lead. And
You tried to
follow-
take the lead, but Shui Xian has already wandered forward, going, "Wow, this is so cool."
I said,
Talking about the weather. It is. We are on top of a mountain.
Okay, I just realized that I really would like the rustic music, but maybe this is not quite the sound I wanted. Okay, better.
I look at Sui Xian and I let her be, and I walk forward. Actually, as I walk forward, I actually intending to stop before Yue Fei's in front of Yue Fei's statue.
Yeah, she says really gone. Is this a statue of Yue Fei? Sorry. Is this a statue of Duke Umu?
Yes, it is. As I walk up.
She's shouting because you guys taking some time to catch up to her. And she says, "This is so cool! Oh my god! Lomu, come here and take a look!"
I will advance towards her.
It is the Duke Umu.
She says, "But it's not, isn't it a crime to have this statue built?"
He is a hero, is he not?
Oh, I see. And why? And she looks and she sees the next. Is this a statue of Quan Erti?
Yes, it is. And that's why this path is called the Path of Heroes.
Oh.
It is to celebrate the heroes that have sacrificed themselves for humanity.
Su Qing comes up to you, right? Walks next to you and goes, "Sir, if you don't mind me asking, sorry, Song Shishong, if you don't mind me asking, is that Ma Xiaoling's disciple?"
Yes.
We're gonna have the infamous Taoist sect wars in which some people cannot go up the mountain one.
Is there a problem?
Not exactly, but Grandmaster and Grandmaster Ma are very good friends, and she was last seen with you, and Grandmaster, well, the two Grandmasters have divined that she was in your presence somehow. Anyway,
She has been in our care for since our trip to Loyang, and I believe Grandmaster Ma is worried.
he is here. He is here on Wudang Shan.
Oh, Sui Xian, you hear that?
Why?
Oh, Shui Xian has run up ahead and go, "Wow, is this a statue of the hero who carried the baby across the
It's the Zilong, yes.
Yes, oh."
Sui Xian, by the way, look, then I kind of like a thaumaturgy from far away. Sui Xian, I think your master's here.
Huh? She immediately stops. What?
Yeah, I think, it's like, remember, all roads lead to wherever you don't want them to lead to. So anyway, we're here and your master's up the mountain. So I think you want to clean yourself up a bit? Here's some mendings.
She's coming back. She's walking back with her shoulders slumped and looking like absolutely distraught.
Just give me a moment, okay? Let me do something. Then I take out my writer's kit and then I write a glowing combination letter for her. Then I use my wind control powers to make the ink dry so it doesn't look like I just wrote it walking up. Then I said, just clean yourself up. Remember, you've been with us for quite a while. From the perspective of your master, years have passed. We need to have. They're probably worried about you. So remember, you've grown up in these few years. They miss you. They probably scold you, but you need to show that you're good. And if you need help, ask us for help. Okay? But you can't avoid this.
Can I just like take the teleportation circle and just go? Like,
Think about it. You can teleport. Who else can teleport? Who taught you how to teleport? Your master, right? So if you teleport away from your master, it's simply a matter of seeing who has more spell seals. And your master has more spell seals than you because he is more powerful.
So I look at Xiaoling.
no, it's Shui Xian.
Shui Xian,
Xiao
sorry.
Ling is the master.
Sorry, I look at Shui Xian and I go, it is a good time for you to prove to your master that you have grown up.
But I don't want to go back.
I could put a good word for you that you will follow us.
Can you? Can you really?
Yeah, you see, I already written this long letter here already.
I can always ask my grandmaster to talk to your master.
Will you do that for me?
I can.
Okay. Can. She looks considerably cheered up.
But of course, if they then combine together the score, there's like something over there doing the. He's like, oh shit! My thermometer is still on. Then he whispers. he looks like he totally forgot, but it looks like he actually wanted to use some of the J to whisper.
Hey, thanks for following malicious. Yes, malicious. Thanks for following.
Malicious. You are a suspicious
Thank
character.
you.
I think I know you from somewhere.
And as you head up the mountain, right, you immediately see, Rich, your adopted father, is running once again. He's running down the staircase, right? Protocol be damned. He's just bounding down. He's basically qing gonging down, right? Wait, okay. And he just basically qing gongs his way down, and lands him down there, and he just embraces you with the biggest bear hug possible. Oh my god!
But I am well, and I have returned.
Where have you been? My god, we were worried sick about you. And he nods and acknowledges the rest of you down there, and he looks at Ma Shui Xian and immediately he goes. He immediately keeps quiet. He immediately keeps quiet. It's like,
I gesture to my father. We should walk and talk. I believe Grandmaster and Master Ma is waiting for us.
Sort of.
Yeah,
Many things have happened when you were not around. We need to tell you a lot of things. You know it is Master's birthday, yes?
Yes, I do. And I look around, and it's obviously not in a state of war, right?
Make an insight check.
It's a 12.
It's not a state of war, it's a state of preparation. So even from here, right, you see that the guards on the path of heroes are far fewer than what you would normally see. That's number one. Number two, even from this like really odd angle up the staircase, right, you can see people just running around like madmen. They're carrying things. They're hanging cloth up. They're dragging stools. They're putting up tables. All kinds of things, right?
Yep. I said, it is Grandmaster's 100th year anniversary, and
100th birthday, not 100th year.
sorry, 100th birthday. Sorry, can't read a little bit. So it's 100th birthday. So I like. It looks like everybody is preparing for his birthday.
It is true, but there is something you should know.
I cocked my head.
Master is not well.
He has been doing well for the last time I saw him.
About 2 years ago, he suffered an attack by an assassin. The assassin was disguised as a Shaolin monk, a Shaolin venerable monk, Cang Tian. But it turns out that he was highly dishonorable, some kind of assassin, and he inflicted a massive internal injury on Master that has not yet been that Master has only recently managed to get around and clear. But a lot of his cultivation has been suspended in the 2 years.
Is Grandmaster still in闭关 or
he is coming out in 2 days.
Okay. Then I believe we should be meeting Master Monk.
And he says, by the way, those of you who are not on Discord, the meme queen has struck. Go and take a look at Guardians of Wudang Valley. And at the top of the staircase, there is a venerable old man that looks suspiciously like Gordon Wong. Okay.
That was my Sifu's. This is my Sifu's training partner.
That is sus.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not this one. I need to find an actual old dude. An actual old dude that looks somewhat venerable. Okay, this one. That's totally not Gordon Wong. Totally not Gordon Wong, along with totally not Conan. Totally not totally not totally not Zhang Zhangfeng, totally not all of these IP characters. Yeah, these are openware versions. Open source versions.
Open source.
Open source versions of our IP characters under IP. Okay, and as you see, this man with long white eyebrows and a long bushy beard, right? He comes up and he goes, hands behind his back, and he goes, Shui Xian. And Shui Xian looks, she doesn't have the spell, but she looks like she's cast a reduced spell because she's just shrinking down there, looking very, 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 very sus and guilty.
I gesture, Master Ma.
Yes, you must be Song Yifan. Your father has spoken to me well of you.
I have, I feel honored, to be in your presence.
Indeed.
I turn towards. I hope you do not put too much punishment to Sui Xian. After all, she has been great help in our adventures.
He raises a hand and he says, be it as it may, she is now embroiled in some matters of the Imperial Court.
I look guilty.
He glances at you. Hey, you mean the man is super experienced, right? Very insightful. He says, you must be the one they call Amu.
Yes, that is I.
Perhaps you, or perhaps Shui Xian. She looks at Shui Xian and she look. Perhaps either of you can explain to me what happened in Luoyang and what happened with Magistrate Gao.
Well,
The chickens have come back to roost. The chickens have come back to roost.
I look at Amo. May I?
yes, please.
I gesture to Master Ma. The situation was this: we were assisting Magistrate Gao in some of his matters with regards to with regards with some of his investigation, and he has accepted some jiangsi as part of his purview as a magistrate. And
He raises a hand. A series of corpses that I had explicitly forbade Shui Xian from taking from Guangzhou.
yes, but it actually led us to some interesting findings.
But it caused the death of an innocent magistrate.
No, that was purely it's really a setup. The magistrate was murdered.
He cocks his head and says, "The news around Luoyang, before it had fallen into siege, was that the zombies broke free."
They were
to a little paladin's room.
he was the zombie wasn't did not break free. They were freed by the perpetrator,
And who is this perpetrator?
a Persian.
He says, "A Persian."
Yes,
Well, I'm a Persian too, but not this Persian.
not this Persian, unfortunately. Watcher of the
Yes, and windborne seeds indeed propagate by this Persian.
The Persian was a member or a high member of the flame worshipping cult of
The 日月神教.
日月神.
Well, no, the Zarathustrans. Not,
Technically, 金庸是日月神教 was
yeah,
Zarathustra.
it was lah. It was. It really was.
Oh, just call them 日月神教 to make it life easier.
No. IP infringement. No. They're totally not. The totally not 日月神教.
神教.
And he says, that is a. I'm inclined to believe you, young warrior Yifan. If nothing else, on the reputation of Wudang.
I said,
There is a but in this statement.
okay, I wait for his but then.
The Brocade Guards have leveled a charge upon my disciple. And without proof, it is our word against theirs.
Then it will be my word against theirs, because I was the one who saw or witnessed the perpetrator within the magistrates.
Ma Xiaoling says, glances at Song Qingshu, your father, right? He says, "You know what this means. It means that Mount Wudang will get implicated in all of this."
It also means that they can now send their people in to get renegades out. They've got the They've got a smoking fire lance, so to speak.
Smoking fire lance, which is what I suspect Hua Gong is.
That is indeed the accuser. How did you know?
Because
Well-
he has been eyeing something in Mount Wudang for a very long time.
I'm back.
He nods and he thinks and he says, he certainly made no concealment of that intent.
Which means if I were to say that it was I witnessed the fire Persians, Hua Gong will immediately send an army of Imperial Guards to come down to try to interrogate me as well as Sui Xin.
So, Song Qing-shu says, we of Wudang Shan stand for truth and justice. We will not let this go by. If he wishes to send his men, then so be it. We are not without means.
I know, Father. But we are trying to prevent a war.
Perhaps it is best for me to just take Shui Xian and leave. We do not
What?
wish to implicate Wudang Shan in this battle.
Master, is there's something that you might need to know before you make the decision?
What is that? Ah, you must be the Watcher of the Skies. I am
Yeah,
honored to make my acquaintance to you, Auditor.
Yes. Then I bow and I say, it's been a long cosmos, but I've had an audience with celestial beings, and the mysteries of the past and the future have been revealed to me. This was what I shared with Magician Gao as well before his untimely demise. I do not wish to make light of the dead, especially not to master handlers of the spirits such as herself. But I foresee a time of chaos and upheaval ahead, and if a just man like Magistrate Cao, he is missed sorely on earth, but it might bring some justice to the lands of the Yellow Springs as well. Heaven and earth works in mysterious ways. But I digress. The main thing that I wish to speak with you is, Sui Xian, how old are you now?
18?
Okay.
17.
There are some truths that I have about you, Sui Xian, that you do not yet know about yourself. And I do not wish to spring them onto you, for I am a keeper of secrets. And secrets have power in who does not know them, as well as who knows them. Of this matter of secrets, before I ask if you would like to know about them, I'd like to ask your master, do you know more about Sui Xian? About
She
who
is
and
a.
what?
I know that she's a young orphan. I know that she was born of an accident involving a Jiangshi. I took her in here.
Well, I've written a letter here that details. You are her guardian, yes. This details my observations and my knowledge of her valor, her courage, and her resource. Then I pass him some rice paper. And
Are
then
you
the rice-
revealing the secret that Noah told you about Shui Xian?
I'm not revealing it directly, right? But I'm putting there like in a CV there about essentially she has a greater path to follow, right? That he cannot essentially run away from. He cannot bring her away because trouble will find her no matter what.
Mhm.
So that's the implication of my message inside there, that I have seen greater things, right? And I put inside there. And so basically, when I do that, then he will basically either do the say no more, or like he will like, no, I want to know. So I kind of like I'm trying to save face for everyone involved: the parental figure, the child, the goddess, the past incarnation, the future incarnation, by basically using the power of CV. This is my recommendation letter.
Auditor's report cannot ignore one. Auditors like these are the assumptions. Directors, you need to make the representation here.
My next character shall be called 不想说也想说 Not say I want to say, but still.
Not say I want.
Okay. After he reads the letter, right, and you see his eyes, right. You're following his the way that he's reading, right, and he's reading the part when he reaches that particular portion of it, right. He closes his eyes, and you hear a voice in your head, right, and he says, "If you have a secret about Shui Xian in your journey to the spirit realm, tell it to me now. You have 25 words. 25 words. Full stop."
Yeah.
Short messaging system.
You see, she is. Sui Xian's. Okay, I will not say Sui Xian. I'll say your student's past is linked in, shrouded in painful karma. If you take her away from this, it cannot flower, she cannot learn, she will suffer even more. Please let her grow.
He spends another one and he says, "The generalities do not help. If there is something specific in her fate, let me know. Otherwise, how do you expect to protect her better than I?"
The thing is, what did I say? Whatever is on this mountain, okay, whatever the Duke wants, here,
Not you, the eunuch.
Eunuch.
whatever the eunuch covets here is important, but so is she. She is destined in one future for apotheosis.
Okay.
Then I say, she has no middle path. She is either doomed or she will ascend. If you do not protect her, if you protect her from now, you cannot protect her from tomorrow.
With that, when you say apotheosis, right, he immediately stops his pretense, right, goes over to you, right, in the Brass Gordon Wong manner, right, he goes over to you, immediately grabs you by the sleeve, right, and pulls you aside. You may choose to fail the grapple check.
I basically let him drag me over.
And he says, "What do you mean by apotheosis? What have you done? Where have you been?"
I'm not at liberty to review further about her past, but what I can tell you about her future is that her name has been written.
He winces immediately, and he says,
"This is not something we wish for our children, for them to live in glorious and interesting times."
He looks completely crushed. He looks sad. He looks like he's failed as a parent.
Apparently.
He just looks. And you, Lord, your names are on the tablet as well.
Yes, and that is why we have been in the liminal time, you see. The winds of fortune blew us together. It has shaken loose a lot of fruit from the trees of karma.
I did not want this for her.
You see, she doesn't understand that because she thinks that she's disappointed you. So she will be unable to understand why you want to protect her. She'll just think that she did something wrong, and that will drive you further apart.
That girl, she's very talented, but she has no discipline.
but she's shown plenty of self-control and wisdom in our journeys. If that is any comfort to you.
I suppose 3 years is a long time. Are you willing to swear on an oath to me that you will do everything you can to protect her?
Well, she's 17, going on to 18. She is an adult. I'll prefer for us to ask if she's willing to accept this protection, and she is.
This is all happening out of earshot from us, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a religious man, religious elders talking. Is it? It's a. If you will allow her to make a decision as an adult, then my protection for her can go a further way.
Only if you do one thing for me.
And what
Something
would
I
that
should have
be?
done a while back. Initiate the coming of age.
Yes, I was going to suggest that.
Of course you would lah. It's all...
And that's why I even put water in front of me for drinking game. Everyone,
everyone, okay, take a drink. The drinking game, yeah.
Okay? Remember, I'm casting ceremony today. Okay.
Weaponized ceremony.
So Edin, what has happened is that the group had actually jaunted themselves in the spirit realm for a while, and they had actually taken a 3-year time skip. So physically, she's still 14. It's just that everybody thinks she's 17 now because she basically lost 3 years.
In fact, all of us lost.
Yeah, we went to the big spirit tree and basically laundered some time away.
Hey Kinto, welcome. You traded time for cultivation, which was totally worth it. Totally worth it.
Totally worth it.
George
And
Lam this in the
says-
Soviet Titus advertisement.
不在乎天长地久。
Yes.
Okay.
Such a reference. Okay.
He motions Shui Xian up forward, and Shui Xian looks like doesn't want to come forward. She's super reluctant. She's dragging every step along the way. She's
I push
like,
her along.
"Nah."
I push her along.
Yeah. And I basically kind of like say to Susan, your master wishes to recognize that you have grown and become stronger. Your master wishes to praise you. Then
Huh?
she said, like, what the
She
fuck,
goes,
don't bluff lah."
no, she goes, huh? Ngo?
Yeah, really. Then I basically kind of look at the old Chinese man with the eyebrows and say, right, yes.
Yeah, he does the signature Gordon Wong beard stroke.
Okay, then I say, well, and so your
He doesn't
master
agree
has-
with you, he just strokes his beard.
Yeah. And your master has requested of me. That's why I had to take Drunken Master to performance. You have to do all the MC work. Yeah.
Well, this
Literally
time,
master ceremony.
this one is Xian to the maximum, man. Okay, for those of you who don't understand what the word Xian, Xian is to
Soft, smooth talk.
yeah,
Yes.
smooth talk lah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
social lubrication. Yeah, I say your master would like me to do a favor, to
Really?
initiate you. Yes, to
Master,
initiate you.
thank you. She bounds up and just envelops Gordon Wong, sorry, Xiaoling into a Master Ma into a big hug. Thank you. So this is a completely atypical Asian role-playing experience because there have been 3 hugs in the span of 1 hour. So it's like totally, it's like this is, we've used up our quota for hugs for like the next 20 years already. So okay,
I take out some incense and I say, could we have some there? Look at Yifan and Amu. Could we have some chairs, like stools or something?
We can use
Or I take out my sacks of dirt on the.
If
there's no chair.
Song Qingshu snaps his fingers, right, and shapes out a couple of stools from the stones itself. I mean, they've got enough spell slots. They can afford to do bullshit stuff like this.
Yep.
Yeah, so like if he can fight off a eunuch by stone shipping, he can make chairs, right?
Yeah, no worries, no issues.
And I invite both of them to sit down, and then I take out my wine, and then I kind of pour some wine and pour some tea, right? And basically the inaction of it is that before the ritual, she shares tea with her parental figure. Then after the ritual, when she has been nature adult, then she can drink the wine basically together with them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. This is why I tell you I have to get all the fucking Sutra performance rolls in series. I need to create ritual on the spot to plus this.
Okay.
Life. Yeah.
Spend the ceremony slot. You use your performance to.
Okay, I will my ritual to do it lah. Because I remember it can be ritual cast actually.
Yeah, it can be ritual cast.
Ding ding ding. 100, 200, 300. Then
Yeah.
everyone else knew you must send a witness. Actually no, just sit down and drink tea and look sagely can already. I think that's what this CNY style thing, okay? Everyone just sit around and look Asian.
Yeah, look Asian.
Then she must sit down to everyone as well, okay? Then 敬酒 to everyone.
She says, and during the ceremony, Xiaoling, Master Ma, reaches in to his cloak. He pulls out. He says, I've been saving this for a very long time for you. This was a letter written by your mother before she turned. She wanted me to pass this to you when you became an adult, and I suppose that is today. And Shui Xian looks, my mother? Yes. I was younger then, and I couldn't save her. But I did agree to do the next best thing. To raise you to become an adult. Today you are an adult. And I suppose this is yours. And he reaches out, and he's trying to pretend, like all Asian parents, right, not to be emo at all, but he's actually like super emo. And he turns away like, oh, there's dust in my eye, there's dust in my eye. He hands her an envelope, and Shui Xian takes a look at it, and holds it in her hand, pulls it out, starts reading. Silent for a moment, and she puts it away. So, thank you, Master, for all these years of raising me. I know I haven't been the best disciple or daughter. Nonsense. You've always been the best. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Especially not these 4 jokers over here. She turns around and says, so does that mean I can continue traveling with them? Yes, of course. If that is your wish. Your friend over here, the Watcher from the Skies, has vouched. For
Yes,
you.
I have.
Very well then. Continue along your way with them. With my blessings. Yifan. He calls out to you.
Stop.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I know what I'm doing.
I will lend what aid I can.
I look up.
Now, with that, let us take a 2-minute break if you all need to go and do your bio break, catch a water break, whatever it is. I don't have karaoke today, so let's just chat in the channel.
Okay, bio break.
Hey, so everybody, those of you who have come in here, Rara is gonna read. Basket. I need. Okay, Rara, what song do you want? Song Dynasty. What song do you want, Rara? I knew it. Okay, I really actually I knew you were gonna ask for that song, and I have it prepared, but only up to verse 2. So unfortunately, you're gonna have to just bear with the fact that it's up to verse 2 because I can't figure out the rest of the pronunciations yet, and even then, verse 1 is kind of a bit off. Short one can lah. Okay, can. Thank you very much. You just want to screen cap me so that you can do meme stuff, right? Meme stuff. Okay. Can. Okay, so this is the stuff. Okay, let me try. Yeah. Okay. The pitch for this leaves a bit to be desired, but okay. One of these days, Rara's gonna request super white. Maybe. Okay. Okay, test sound test can hear. Okay, good. 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait. My score's floating down. Đại cái拍针尾，做咪个可怕，咩怕，大个拍针尾，路啊当地界，咩怕，快攞針啊！再冇需怕走，你感染咗走到唔中啦。嘅苗子安怎會較緊去拍？你命驚聽我會去拍。大家拍針尾，做咪個可怕？咩怕？大家拍針尾，你話當地界咩怕？大家拍針尾，做咪個可怕？咩怕？大家拍針尾，你話當地界咩怕？Oh yeah! Those were the first two kind of sorts of mangled Pak Cham Bui verses. Okay, I'm going to figure out the other two verses one day, okay? I hope you enjoyed it. I think I kind of butchered the pronunciation for both the Cantonese and the Hokkien, the Teochew portions. But hopefully you all don't mind lah. Okay. Old man stroking beard is on Discord. Okay. Yes. That actually kind of looks like Gordon Wong, I have to say. Oh man, you're on a roll today, man, Rara. Okay, let's head down to the. Okay, so ceremony has been cast. All of the stuff has been done. Is everybody back from their bio break?
Yep.
Okay. With that, Ma Xiaoling strides forth and says, "You had best go and visit your grandmaster." He shakes his head. and he doesn't vanish lah, but he just does the 中华英雄 leap over the moon thing. Yes.
Disappear from view. I said, I look at my father, and go, I think it's best that we find accommodations. Get my friends accommodations and wait for Grandmaster to come out from his meditation.
Why don't I bring you up to the Master's Tower? Your friends can wait. There are lodgings, of course. You can bunk in with some of the senior disciples.
And not as I follow my father towards the tower.
Okay, I'm just doing some chat to explain what Pak Samway was to Suadin, who was like, what the hell is going on? It's a really catchy jingle, it's like the catchiest jingle of ever forever. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. So basically, it's a vaccination song to persuade the elderly to go and have their vaccination done.
And for those of you who have never seen this before, this is the Cloud Tower Pagoda of Wudang, and yes, I did make that yin yang singable by myself.
Manually, right?
Manually, tile by tile, counting out what is it. It's like I will never do anything like that ever again, because it's like, what the bleep. Okay, but seriously, yeah, it was worth it. And I finally, after months and months and months, I did this in March, by the way, I finally get to show you the furnishings of the Pagoda Tower.
Yes.
Wait, okay, he actually should be, no, he's not gonna be up here right now. Oh. No, actually he should be up here. Okay. Your father brings you up to the top floor of the...
Does his father bring him up literally or figuratively?
You raise me up.
So then follow mountains.
You raise me up so I can cultivate my power level.
In a square of pure of crystals derived from Tianshan.
Mm-hmm.
Stands a man. Old man with sweeping white hair, robust, large. He was a huge man in his youth, right? And he's a little more elderly now, but he still looks like he's robust, like anything that you've more robust than people half his age. Your father comes in and he says and he lightly opens his eyes.
Kneel in front of him.
He says, Yifan, how
I have returned, Grandmaster.
you're alive. That is he tries to motion up to try and get up from his seated position.
I move forward to help him up.
Okay, you move forward, and he leans on you heavily as you get up. As he goes, oh, it's really you. And as you touch him, right, you feel something course through your vein, your circulation path, very quickly. And he says, you've grown a lot. Tell me what happened. Tell me what has happened over the past 3 years.
I look at the Grandmaster and said,
Awesome Rara,
Oh.
it is indeed pure good energy.
I it has been 3 years for you, but to us it was merely a few months. We have after we have left Luoyang, we have actually traveled to the spirit realm. There we have witnessed a tower that Zhurong have damaged, a pillar that Zhurong had damaged, and inside there we have actually been in contact by a celestial.
Which one? The repairer of the pillars? And with that, he reaches out a hand, right? And he pushes out, and you see immediately, right? You have described the runes, right? Immediately, your entire room just surrounds itself with words. Large, complex words just writing down. It almost feels like writing a sonnet instantly, right? Around it, and just seals off, and you feel your ears kind of pressurized, like when you're going into a plane that's rising. That kind of feeling.
I wait for the slight feeling to pass, and I say, yes.
What does Nuwa want of you? And what does Nuwa want of your friends?
We have been named onto the tablets.
He gives almost the exact same pained expression as Ma Xiaoling gave when he heard that his adopted daughter was part of the tablets of fate. And he says, "That is not an easy fate to bear, my grand disciple."
I understand, but we must see it through. After all, we are the first to witness the release of Zhurong. There is also that there has been information that we suspect that somebody else is attempting to take over Zhurong's position, the position that he has vacated.
We have heard some rumors of a Persian who leads the Chinese branch of the Zarathustrans.
Yes, it is this Persian that is also on the tablet of fate.
I see.
Which is why I look like into the distance and say, my friends and I are inclined to stopping him.
If you stop him, then who stops Zhurong?
I look at my father, then I look at Grandmaster. I think Long Wu will be able to stop Zhurong.
Oh, there's a little thing about his spear.
I sneeze.
He nods.
We have summoned some soldiers from Shangxi.
You managed to snatch the tomb from Duke Xie.
Well,
The chariot. He points towards the path of heroes. I assume that you're not dragging the chariot up the mountain,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah, we're leaving it at Power's Chairs. I said, yes. We have. But
And what of him? What of the Duke himself?
He has returned back to where he once came.
He got his wish. Finally.
It is the right thing to do. I say. And so is freeing the soldiers of the Terror Talker.
They could have been useful. Your friend, Long Mu, he could have been emperor if he had so chosen. Why did he not choose? We could use a good steady hand in government right now. And he is a president scholar and a 5-star general. And he has a fast track to become an MP in a GRC.
Those are 3 reasons why we shouldn't put them in.
I said, the reason is his own, and the path is his own. I do not have the right to impose such a heavy responsibility onto him. He must choose it. He must choose it willingly.
You have a heavy responsibility regardless. You have a heavy responsibility because your names are on the tablets regardless. There isn't...
Yes, I agree, Grandmaster, and this is why I feel that we have to be here, because I fear that Yuna Hua may has some ill intent for our clan.
And with that, almost on cue, dun dun dun, you hear from the entrance of Wudang. Yeah, let me place my figurines first. Because dun dun dun.
Dun 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 does not sound good.
Yes, does not sound good.
It totally does not sound good. Where the else?
Loading, please wait.
You hear a voice that projects itself all across the entrance of Wudang Shan, and also gives me an opportunity to show the banner of Wudang Shan. One day I will have calligraphy on this. One day.
One day.
And you hear Yunak Hua announces himself. Yunak Hua announces his representatives up Mount Wudang. And we seek to give our salutations and blessings to the Grand Master Bai Mei of Wudang on his 100th birthday and discuss business with him. The camera pans and you see, well, not you see, but the audience sees.
Who's his audience? Can we use them to get extra intel?
Can.
Yes.
I mean, if they want to,
They spend 500 points.
if they find my life, you can get extra intel indeed.
I like.
The audience starts see. Yes, right.
and awesome Rara.
Oh no, Melling looks like she's about to give us extra intel.
Okay, so large pieces of it. Okay, then let's see how many people will redeem redeem the intel from the channel points. Say so Song Dynasty, you guys go for it. Okay, sure. Your master Bai Mei immediately pulls out and forms again. The words fly out rapidly and they spin around in a circle and it forms a seeing mirror. as the announcement starts. By the way, everybody in Wudang Shan hears the voice, right? And there are 3 people here. There is a dark-skinned man. You've seen this dark-skinned man before. He was at the he was the dark-skinned Jingling. He was the dark-skinned spirit creature at the Crossroads Inn when I'm sorry?
He's a drow and his name is called Tisa, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
That's not Tisha.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's not Tisha. So this is you see this figure, the drow. He has on his body a brace of daggers. He has a pair of what look like hand crossbows on the side, and he exudes an aura of never being there, never being at that spot that he actually is.
Okay, Casey is giving him a very long description. It's probably something we have to fight eventually.
Yeah, of course. What I mean,
Is it some power gaming Asamite build?
Ooh.
Everyone wants us.
what? Power gaming Asamite build? No lah, where God? I mean, I only save that for Nick's vampire games.
Yeah, I see.
Against you all, no need on lah, no need on. Just send normal drow assassin can already.
You're deterring me from running more vampire.
Oh, am I? Okay, yeah, then he's a complete twink. He's a absolute twinked up to the maximum assassin, shadow stalker, you name it. The second figure, right, is a large man. Looks vaguely pan-Asiatic. The features are Asian but not quite Chinese. Carries a large what looks like a two-handed saber that he wields with an agility that you cannot believe, and he's wearing what looks like armor. He's wearing like the kind of military armor that you get for the shock troopers and officers that lead on the front.
It looks like the one that Wudang will fight.
It could be anybody. I mean,
it was anime.
I'm a spy. Why cannot make friends? Quick, drink water.
Okay, fine.
yes, drinking game. Cang Tian wants to make friends with somebody he fights. Drink.
Then this is setting up for Amu to. We have no choice. Quick, Amu, drink water.
And there is a third person that you've not ever seen. It's a she, a female figure, tall, long of leg, svelte, fair skin, ruby lips. She wears the hat of an envoy of the Song Dynasty, officially appointed by the Imperial Court. Wears a red robe figure, long sleeves, walks with a grace that almost belies the natural.
It's a man, isn't it?
Has an uncanny resemblance to Bridget Lin.
Oh, with the especially the hat some more, right?
Yeah. And
now you sing the Bridget Lin song for the next show. You just set yourself up to sing that song.
Which song?
The choir one. What's that? You know the third movie one?
No lah, that one is damn lame. I will sing the other one. I'll sing the first two one. Tang Hai Xiao. That one. But the chords for that one it's actually quite difficult. That one I went to look it up before. That one's actually done in Chinese pentatonic style. And I was like, wow, Sam Hui is damn bloody genius, man. Seriously. He was the Jay Chow before Jay Chow. He's bloody good.
Yeah.
So from here, right, the three of them walk up, and immediately you see a bunch of Wudang disciples start barring their path.
Oh no! This group is what Renzus commonly refers to in my games as the evil PCs.
Evil PCs?
The shadow
I don't think
party,
I've used that term in a very long time, by the way.
And the assassin immediately, right, stands there and starts. He goes down almost invisibly, grounds himself. The large man looks confident. And the third one does the lady does this. Masks her mouth. As they look at the three of them. As they look, the Wudang disciples look at the three of them. You guys are up here on the mountaintop. The rest of you are situated. Okay, the senior disciple rooms are actually up here.
Okay.
So we hear that, right?
You hear that? No, sorry, the senior disciple rooms are not up here, sorry. The senior disciple rooms are actually in the back. Oh, son, sorry. It's been a while since I've used this map, but I can't even remember where I decorated the shit. Okay.
So
yeah.
I look at Cang Tian, I look
Ah,
at
yeah.
Xianxia, and I start making my way there.
Okay, you can. And immediately as you say that, right, you see people, right, as you start making your way towards the
evil PCs.
the evil PCs, right? What's the opposite of the Order of the Stick? Can't remember.
Well, I can't remember what they were
The
called.
evil PCs for Order of the Stick. You start seeing that people have started the stone path starts starts assembling itself, and you see people start running alongside the path all the way up.
Oh, the Linear Guild.
Yes, the Linear Guild, yes. You
Although I
start
have no
going.
idea why they call that, but no.
Cang Tian, are you heading that way as well?
Yeah, heading that way.
So all the PCs are headed in that direction, lah. This is about as far as you get. Before you hear the slinky figure, right, say, "We are not here to fight you. If you wish to turn this into a fight, there is always 3 days from now. During the meet, we will be happy to take on all contenders during that time. We merely wish to give you a gift." Long pause. You guys are flying.
I'm not really flying. As soon as I can, I'd rather make my entrance just casually walking up to them.
Okay. So you reach around here when you what's happening up here in the tower is, "Master, let me go down and deal with this." And he nods. So your father has been arrowed, or rather he self-arrow, because he knows that self-arrow is the best arrow. Hear that or not, Cang Tian?
Huh? It's okay. It's like that's why volunteer contains the word tears. You have to cry a lot.
And he
Self
casts
arrow.
a spell, a 4th tier spell, Dimensions Doors down. Dido. And he goes, "I am the elder disciple, Song Qingshu. Who am I? Who do I have the pleasure of meeting?" You guys are sauntering down still? Or trying to make better time?
I'm gonna saunter. They can go faster if you want. I mean, I'm only sauntering from when
Kukang
they can
and Cang Tian?
I am going to watch and observe, because as a watcher of the skies, if I get involved, it's a bit not so good. So I shall walk down, but not like aggressively, and
Okay.
get a vantage point to watch.
Okay, the best vantage point that you have to watch is actually the stone path up here. Do you want to go up there?
Okay. Yeah, hit there.
Okay, done. Are you? So you're watching, Kukang, what are you doing? Are you going to go down to Chora now, or are you going to?
I'm moving at a decent speed, mostly just because I want to see how this go down.
Okay.
I'm going to stay in the tower together with Grandmaster.
Okay.
Just to make sure that they don't know that I am still alive.
Okay. And the assassin says, I am the breaker of armies, Po Jun.
Oh yeah, the poaching guy.
If you think about it that way, how best do you break an army? These are my colleagues. He motions toward the large man, that's Tan Lang, and he motions at the envoy, that's Tisha. We have a present for your master. He pulls out a...
Okay, so these are the brocade guard, right?
You saw them together with the brocade guards.
Okay.
And specifically, just to remind you, last session, Duke Xie specifically warned of these three.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sweden, that's exactly right. Actually, the three stars of disaster, these guys were named after the 3 stars of disaster. And
there's no such thing as coincidence.
He throws a bundle about yay big towards Song Qingshu, which Song Qingshu catches, and he opens it up, and a head rolls down. A beheaded. And he says, what is the meaning of this?
He's the assassin, right? The Shaolin master.
Yeah, exactly. It is the assassin, the head of the Shaolin master that attacked Wudang-san. We have taken care of a problem from Wudang for you. Tisha smiles. She nods. She does not say anything. With that, we bear our gifts and we will take part in the hospitality until the meeting 3 days from now. If you don't mind, of course. We have brought you a heavy gift.
I kind of like. Is there anyone near me?
Yeah, there is. This is one of the. So this tends to be manned by a senior disciple. This area here is what they call the watch. And the watch basically has an overview of just about the entire area.
I think I'll speak to the senior disciple near me and say, if we can collect the head, we can ask the Mars to help us. The necromancers can help us ascertain the truth better. But they already know that the necromancers are here, so they'll expect us to do exactly just that as well. So let's tread very carefully.
He nods. He says, these three are known to be cunning people. Master Cang Tian. We are well aware of these tricks.
I mean, it's they basically changed the context of the conversation. They came barging in, they gave gifts that were unwanted, and now they want to use it as a pretext for niceties. I'm here observing because I'm a watcher, impartial in this matters between sects. But all you have to do, friend, is to ask, and I can be persuaded to intervene if you require my assistance.
He says,
if require heaven's will to be enacted.
He says, this is a matter not of my decision, but I would certainly welcome your help You have been a great friend and companion to
Well,
my martial nephew Yifan.
how does Wudang, how do you always deal with the murder of a holy man? Because what I see right now is that I have the pretext to act because somebody have just acknowledged to the slaughter of a Buddhist patriarch, even if he was an assassin.
We think he was framed.
He would. I'm willing to bet banknotes to Tian that he is indeed faked, indeed framed. But
They have now killed him, so there is no way to establish this now. Even if they had killed him, they would have done something to bind the spirit so that he would not be able to reveal the truth. The Mars are here, they are skilled, but they can't do anything without a spirit present.
give me a moment, all right? Do you know the cantrips to? I'm going to do something for a while, all right? So, but wake me up when you see my face turning bluer than it already is. Okay, then I basically go into. This is the first stunning strike I'll do in a game, perhaps the only one. I'll stun myself and basically prevent myself from. I'm going to basically enter shamanic state of close to death, right? So that if I'm going to close to die, please wake me up. I'm going to travel John to the underworld for a while. I don't know whether that'll work. It's just RPU I'm doing. I'm meditating and I kind of hit myself to knock my life force out, right? And I enter a state of close to death. Since the Mars aren't here to help me feign death, I have to ghetto it, basically. But that's what I
as an Arcana roller, maybe not right now. Because if you want to go down to the underworld, right? Going down to the underworld is the easy part. Getting out is not.
Yeah, you need a guide.
You need a guide. You need to be far more prepared than this. So I am happy to have you drawn to the underworld to do it, but not now, not right now. Yeah.
Sure thing.
Because if you do it now, you're probably gonna get into a little bit more trouble than you would have. And I'm happy to have that as a story arc after this, by the way.
Because in my head, I was thinking it's going to be one of those like real time passes is like 3 minutes. Then later in underworld, it's kind of like speaking over to Yendo, like, oh, actually, by the way, blah blah blah. Then because we cash in a huge favor with them as well. So
I know, I get that. The thing about it is that the setup is right, the talking is right, but the context of it will not be as easy as you think it is.
Okay, sure thing.
Okay, so he says you can, however, put yourself into an altered state of consciousness if you wish to kind of do the astral projection ish.
Yeah, I'll just do that for detect magic then. I'll just do the enter astral state for detecting magic as a ritual. So that's what I'll do while observing.
Okay, I will allow you to observe the magic even though it's out of range here.
Yeah.
And note a couple of things. The head is real. There is a powerful spell of necromancy and abjuration placed on it.
Okay, so like the seal that he was talking about,
Yep.
Yeah, but please go on. Sorry, I'm just above doing watchy things. So please
no
go
problems. Cang Tian and Kugang, you are able to reach around the path close to the courtyard if you choose.
on. Okay.
Longmu and Kugang, you mean?
I'll walk across the courtyard.
Okay, the courtyard not okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, it's such a nice courtyard that I built by hand. That it's quite nice to have somebody step on it.
It's not rude or anything, right?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
No.
This is actually the Lei Tai, where all the major like events and duels would happen. This is the training yard.
I wouldn't have some CSM come up to me and
This is the other training yard.
No, the CSM will only cut you if you're not wearing beret. Which I'm guessing you are now, so maybe he will cut you off.
Onto the parade square, right? We don't do that anymore. We don't do that over here.
Okay, so you're up here and you can hear the whole conversation, and the Song Qing Shu says, we have not yet established that Cang Tian was indeed the assassin that attacked my master, even though he was wearing his face. We do not believe that this is a gift that is appropriate for a man celebrating his 100th birthday.
Okay, so Long Mu is going to stand there conspicuously but appear to be minding his own business.
Okay, yeah, they see you. And in fact, the first person to see you is Tisha. And Tisha looks there and he leans in and whispers something to the assassin. And the assassin says, our two friends over at the courtyard, if you are already here, why don't you join in the festivities here?
I look at them and I say, oh, no, don't, we're just minding our own business here. Please, carry on.
The Tisha masks her mouth and she looks like she's chuckling. And he says, the Zhong Ting Shu takes the thing and says, we cannot accept this, please. He moves it. Oh, well, if that's the case, then I suppose there are other things. We are nothing if not sincere. He pulls out a long case. Not this case, a case that contains something. Not that this case doesn't. Okay, I'm making myself. I'm turning this way too recursive already. He pulls out a case, a black wooden case, and moves up to you. With our respects, then. And Xingshu walks up, takes it. He turns it around. He opens it with the face towards Fortune. Nothing happens. He turns it around. All of you smell an incredible earthy smell. There's a very acrid smell of herbs, Chinese herbs, and you see it. It's a long, dark, brown ginseng root. He says, we heard that your grandmaster has been injured, and we offer this as a gift. We are sincere. We wish only to celebrate.
Excuse me. What are you celebrating exactly?
The 100th birthday of the Grandmaster of Wudang Shan. We are, after all, men of Wuling.
But, sounds like you have quite an entourage here just to celebrate.
There is only 3 of us.
Is it true? Like, are there only the 3 of them? Like,
you only see the 3 of them. There doesn't seem to be an army marching behind them.
Case. I hope the ginseng is not Bai Cao Xian.
It is too small to be Bai Cao Xian.
Okay.
And Bai Cao Xian is quite large.
Bai Cao Xian is just for the last time you saw him, right? He was 4.5 feet, pushing on 5 feet.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's the size of a child.
Yeah, he's the size of a halfling. He was reaching the size of a dwarf.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is, in a case, it's like
2, 3, maybe 1 feet or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But thanks for bringing it up. You cannot help but to think, right, that was a very veiled insult to the 4 of you.
Are we being oversensitive?
Possibly.
Possibly.
He says, then you are, as long as you have good intentions here, you're welcome on Wudang Shan, and we treat you as our guests. He raised his hands and the group and head off to their own duties. And with that, it is coming to 11:30. We're going to wrap up the session soon. Any last things that you all want to do before the session wraps up?
I think
yeah.
springs to mind.
I have a couple of downtime, and I'll be actually downtime thing that I want to do is actually to head to the library.
Okay.
The
Couple of things I just realized that I need to give you all, because there were three
I want
pieces.
to ask-
There are 3 pieces of info. Nick.
No worries.
3 pieces of info. Okay. Of the 3 of them, Tisha's martial arts system strongest. Without, it's not even close.
is she like tier 3?
No, but she's very close to it.
Okay.
She should be either experiencing the tribulation or has already experienced the tribulation.
Okay.
That's piece of information number 1. Piece of information number 2. The assassin is not at his location at any given time. He's under the effect of some kind of displacement magical effect. Third piece of information regarding Tan Lang. Tan Lang's not human at all. He's not human at all. He is probably some kind of beast incarnate. So all of this you get from basically observation, and because you also had access to superior scrying and intelligence gathering apparatus. Okay, Nick, what did you want?
Before you leave, I overheard you saying something about a martial challenge.
Yes, in 3 days' time. We're coinciding with the 100th birthday of one of the pillars of Wuling. We have taken it upon ourselves to invite Wuling, since they are here, to discuss the Mongol situation in 3 days' time.
And what is your stand on the Mongol situation?
That they have to be eradicated, of course, but all of Wuling needs to come under one leader. So, the meeting will be to determine who becomes the leader of Wuling. And with that, we end the stream. Thank you very much. Nicely done, Nick. I was gonna hold it for next session, but it's nice. That's a nice end of story climax thing.
Yep.
Okay, Rich.
Yep.
Do we have a raid target?
It will be Phoenix.
Okay, let's try raiding Phoenix, but I'm not entirely sure we will end up with anything, because Phoenix usually ends at about this time. But anyway,
let's raid.
It's a raid.
raid. Okay, everybody, take care, everyone.
Good night.
See you all on Saturday. Don't forget to tune in on Saturday to watch us and Meme Queen Awesome Rara play Band of Blades.
Yeah.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye, guys. Bye.